Okay? From there, let's go to Revelation 12 and 1 now. We almost done. We almost done. I'm going to show y'all something. Now, all that we read, watch how I always explain to y'all how you're not going to understand Revelation if you don't understand the other books in the Bible. Because everything Revelation says in this is a similitude in a one shape or fashion. Okay, Revelation 12 and 1.
Revelations 12 verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
So this woman represented the nation of Israel. Give me Jeremiah 6 and 2. That's why the Bible must be read how?
Precept upon precept.
Precept upon precept. Precept must be upon precept. If you don't do it that way, you ain't not going to get the understanding. You're going to be sitting on the Joel Osteen talking about, what they talking about? Creflo going to step in and say, money.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
See how the Lord sees us as a beautiful and comely woman. Delicate and comely woman. So this woman, clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. The sun and the moon represents what? I'm on.
Wisdom and understanding.
Wisdom and understanding. So remember, what was given to Israel in Baruch? There's many places you could go. Is it Baruch 3 or 4? Give me that, give me that, give me that. Baruch 3:36 is it? Give me that real quick. And then Apocrypha.
Baruch 3 verse 36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved.
See, that's all this knowledge was given to us. That's what that sun and that moon is talking about in Revelation 1. I mean Revelation 12. Let's go back there. 12 and 1, come on.
Revelations 12 verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
So that part and a crown of 12 stars lets you know it's talking about the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay? There's other precepts you could go to also in Genesis.
Genesis 37 verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream,
This is Joseph.
and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me.
See, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars, remember, he was excluding himself, made obeisance to me.
And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth?
See what Jacob said? Shall me and your mama bow to you also? So these 12 stars represents the 12 tribes of Israel. That sun and the moon represents the knowledge and wisdom that was given to Jacob. That's why we went to Baruch. Back to Revelation 12. Now we're in verse 2.
In Revelations 12 in verse 2. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, in pain to be delivered.
So the Messiah was coming. It was time for him to be born in the earth. Come on.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Why is it saying this great red dragon? Great red! Why is it saying red, Tony? This dragon represents what? Great red dragon. Give me Job 30 and 30, I think it is. You know what I want?
Yeah.
Job said, I'm a brother.
The owls and something like that.
Job 30 verse 29. Write this down. Read it.
Job 30 verse 29. I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls.
Job said, I'm a brother to dragons. Who was the brother of Israel? Esau. What color was Esau?
Red.
Red. You with us, Tony? Tony, what did it say Esau's color was?
You ever read about the birth of Esau? Okay.
So in Genesis 25, Tony, what did it say? The first came out
Red.
I said Tony. All of your name ain't Tony. What did it say, Tony? First came out red all over like in hairy gone. So that's a precept with Revelation 12 and 3, where it says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. Why is it saying dragon? Because Job said, I'll become a brother to dragons. Our dragon brother was Esau. Everybody understand that? Then it says, having 7 heads, 7 major empires. 7 major empires behind Bezalel. Forgot your name again. Behind Bezalel. What's his name? What's your name again? Dan? Okay. What are the 7 major empires? Which are the 7 heads? Okay. Who can give them to us? In order. Only one brother got a clue. Malachi. In order. In order. The first great empire of Esau was the Greeks, followed by Rome, followed by
Great Britain?
No.
Great Britain.
No. Meter. No. Come on, stop.
Which one I say? I say Great Rome. Sit down.
Okay, wait. Isaac got it written in his Bible, so go ahead, read it. Go ahead, Leon's Bible.
It's not nine. Rome.
Wait.
Greece.
I want y'all to write this down. The 7 heads are what? Are who? Greece. Rome.
Spain. France.
Germany.
Great Britain.
Oh, you fell.
Yo, you were going good. I thought you was cooking it.
Okay, hurry up. Start again.
I got it written down.
Okay, you got it written down also. Greece. Rome. Spain. France. Germany.
Russia.
That's it.
Russia.
I know you were Great Britain.
And Great Britain.
You got it?
Y'all got that? Wait, Tony didn't write it down.
Go through them again.
You wrote it down, Tony?
You got it?
Wait, Tony got to read it to us, Tony. Stand up. You know, Tony, have a seat. That's out of order. Dan, did you write it down? Okay, stand up and read it for us. Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, and Britain.
You got it.
That's it. That's the 7 in that order. That's the order of Esau's kingdoms. Okay, read it verse 3 again, please.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
10 horns. Zephaniah.
The European Union.
The European Union, also called
10 common markets.
the 10 common markets. Also called, give me another name. What's another name? NATO. NATO. You also see that. So it's all the 10 horns is the 10 common markets. Also called the EU, which is European Union.
You know what amazing though? Esau will give you a lot of clues, especially when you go into the newspaper in the bottom where they have a comment how they do trade. They're gonna show you who's the hitman in charge right in the bottom of it.
Men 10.
Man 10, they're showing you right here, but you're not reading to understand.
Exactly. Verse 4. So it said there's 7 crowns upon his head.
Negroes watch TV, but they don't watch the white man TV.
Right.
Watch sports.
They watch sports and foolishness.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven.
And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars from him. Now the stars represented what, Robert? The stars in verse 1. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Oh, that's I want to say Israel.
Yeah.
You're not sure though, have a seat. So you're wrong. Tony, stand up. I want to hear, I can't even hear you mumbling. You said it like a question, you're not sure. You're wrong. Who can stand up and tell me what these 12 stars represent?
With the spirit in
With
you.
the spirit in you. Barnabas.
12 tribe of Israel.
That's right.
Yeah, I like the way he said
You heard the way he said it?
Yeah.
You said it like a question. 12 tribes of Israel.
That came out with bass. I'm tired of hearing trouble. I want to hear some bass.
Exactly. Read that again. Verse 4 now. Verse 4.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
Stop. Back to you, Robin. Robert. The third part. His tail drew the third part of the stars.
That's going to be hard for him.
Okay. Who know the answer? Phil got the answer. Come on.
The 1/3 of the Israelites.
No. I thought you had it. Remind, help us.
Judah, Benjamin, Levi.
Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Remember the kingdom was split into two. The southern kingdom of Judah consisted of how many tribes? Three. That's the third part it's talking about. Okay, so read verse 4 again.
No, because you remember that in the 12 is planning the captivity in one. Then you have to understand why he said the third part. What he's referring to, what the time period is referring to.
Right. Come on.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth.
Meaning conquered them. Go ahead.
And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Now we read this already.
Right.
I want to see who's thinking. I don't want no hands up. My God. Who is the? Read the bottom part again. And the dragon.
And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Who stood before the woman to devour her child as soon as he was born? I want a name. Not sure. Dan. Very good. Hera. Give me that Matthew 2 again. Let's hit the precept again. Because you might have forgot what the angel said.
Matthew 2:13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
What race is Herod, Steve?
Edomite.
An Edomite. So y'all see the correlation? This great red dragon. Esau is what color?
Red.
What was Herod?
Red.
He was an Edomite. So this is the proper breakdown.
That's right.
Understand that. We ain't making things up. Come on.
That's it.
Go back to Revelation 12.
Revelations 12, verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne.
Now, we didn't read that one today. Let's get that in Acts chapter 1, please. Acts chapter 1. And was caught up to God. Is it 1 and 9? 1 and 9.
9 to 11.
Yes, Acts chapter 1, verse 9 through 11.
Acts 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things,
This was Christ when he had spoken these things.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
What's this cloud, brothers?
Chariot.
The chariot. Come on.
And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel.
So everybody watch Christ ascending up into heaven. Go ahead.
Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Let's go back now to Revelation 12.
Hey, we shouldn't have skipped over that. He said he's going to come back in a right manner. How is Christ going to come back? In a chariot.
Right.
He was taken up in a chariot. He's going to return with chariots.
Exactly.
So that seals it up right there.
Revelation 12 and verse
6.
Come on.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,203 score days.
So now after Christ ascended, because remember verse 5 said he was caught up to God into his throne, what happened with this woman? It says, and the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,203 score days. What is this wilderness talking about? The wilderness. Steve.
Azareth.
No. Remember, Steve, I want you to think. Osiris, right, was what time period did our people go to Osiris? During what captivity? The Persian Mede captivity. Christ was during what captivity? Roman. So we ain't get there yet. So now, it says, where we at? And the woman fled into the wilderness. Isaac. Africa. Where would you go?
Oh, Matthew 2:13.
Nope. That's a good follow-up to link it to it. To link it, but it's talking about the woman, not Christ no more. Ezekiel. Luke 21:20. Let's get that real quick. To show you that those 3 tribes that was cast to the earth, they fled into the wilderness.
Luke 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is not. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Now he was just, I was going to ask the question about what he was reading earlier, but the rest of the verse told you. Read that verse again. When we were going over this, I was thinking, remember I made the comment, I said, when it asked about, and it tells you the third part of the stars of heaven, I was thinking to myself, okay, this is kind of deep. Some people might not get it. Because this is going into the history about 70 AD. This is in that time period. So it had nothing to do, it was not talking about the time about when the tribes came over to Osiris and all that. That was way before that.
Right.
Okay, so we have to know the time period and history about what we're reading. Okay, so that's what he's reading about. Read again.
21 verse 21. Then let them which are in Judea.
Who was in Judea? Isaac.
Judah, Benjamin,
Exactly. So that's how you know that the 3, when it said that his tail drew the third part, 3 parts of 12. 3 parts of 12, because those were the 3 that was in Jerusalem during the time of the Romans, which was Herod and his group.
Go ahead.
Let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
So the mountains is making reference to Africa. That's why, like Isaac said earlier, Matthew 2:13, when the Lord told Joseph to take his wife in Christ, he told him to run where? Egypt. Where's Egypt? Northeast Africa. So here in Luke, when Christ said run, you better hide. Same example. So you want to link Luke 20:21 with Matthew 2:13 to show you that the mountains is Africa, is the wilderness.
Same place.
The same place. Let's go back to Revelation now.
Revelations 12 verse 6. And the woman fled into the
I
wilderness.
should say same area rather than place, because place is coming up.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God.
Now what was the place?
Now they got deep.
Yeah. Joel.
Place prepared for God in America.
Why would you say that?
Because we're going to be brought from the wilderness into America.
Where would you go to explain the place?
The place where I go to explain the place, I'll go to 12:3.
No.
No.
Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Let's go there real quick.
Thinking of what Joel was trying to go to. We ain't ready for that. This very minute.
This will explain the place. Hosea 1 and 10.
Hosea 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place,
Joel, in the place In the place, go ahead,
where it was said unto them,
where it was said unto them,
"You are not my people."
how is it said that we're not God's people, Josiah?
They call them powers and bywords.
What does that mean?
Meaning names outside true names.
Like what?
Like,
You're African American.
Wait.
How is it that we're going to stumble on the proverb?
so I just didn't know how far. I started slurring and
You should start off with your own. No, Dominican. Dominican. That's a byword. That's a proverb. That's a byword, but that's outside of who you really are.
Right. So now we want the main place here, okay, because this is Babylon the Great. And in the place, go ahead,
Where it was said unto them,
where it was said unto them,
"You are not my people."
how is it said you are not God's people? They call us African Americans, Negroes, blacks, colored folks. They call us Native American Indians, okay? They call us Mexicans.
There it shall be said unto them, "Ye are the sons of the living God."
There, in that place,
Some heavy information there.
you shall be called the sons of the, it shall be said you are the sons of the living God. That's here. That's where the truth came out, here in North America. This is the place. Back to Revelation 12. And what verse was that?
Y'all see the prophets? I don't think they got it.
Who does not understand? Raise your hand. Who understands? Raise your hand. Go ahead, ask some question. Here's the test.
Read it again, that thing.
The
What you just read.
6.
The last thing you just read. I don't know what you just read.
Hosea.
Read it.
1 and 10.
Hosea 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them,
Where was it said unto us that we are not the Israelites? Go ahead, read the next piece. That's what I want.
where it was said unto them, "Ye are not my people," there
Meaning in that same place,
it shall be said unto them, "Ye are the sons of the living God."
so there's a lot of information in that statement that is showing you where the truth is going to start out at. That's why the Mosai said that the tents of Judah, that's why he's saying that, because that's where it started at. Okay, then it went out.
Right. I thought you was asking him a question. Oh, back to Revelation 12.
flowing, brother.
Revelations 12 and 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
1,260 days breaks down to what? Remind. Right. Literally, it's what? 3.5 years. Which breaks down to 350 years. Okay?
When I say that she'll feed there, that she will go to Deuteronomy 28:48.
Yes. Exactly. That feet are there goes with Deuteronomy 28:40. Let's read that real quick.
Read that, read that.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So we have to serve Esau for the one of all things. That's feeding us. He's feeding us. He's the one that gives us jobs. This great red dragon. He's the one that gives us welfare. He's the one that gives us unemployment checks. What? Public assistance and all that. Education. He's the one that's feeding us here. Okay? Y'all saw?
Yeah, go back to Revelation 12, jump to verse 14. It's saying the same thing, but it's going to let you know a little bit more about this man that's feeding us.
That's right.
Revelations 12 and 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
That's the great escape of us getting down into the wilderness away from the Romans who were trying to kill us.
That's right.
Come on.
That she might fly into the wilderness,
That's Africa.
Africa.
Into her place
That's America, like we were bringing out earlier in the other verse. Come on.
where she is nourished.
Where she is what?
Nourished
Where she is nourished.
for a time and times and a half a time.
That's the 300. That's the 1,203 score. That's against, breaks down into the same time period. Read on.
From the face of the serpent.
So who's feeding us? Class. Who's feeding us? The white man. He's the devil. That's what the Bible's telling you. He's telling you straight up, this serpent is the same Edomite demon that's feeding us.
It's nourishing us.
Nourishing us. So the Most High is letting you know who we're dealing with.
Serpent.
And then you notice with the Norwich, he destroyed many souls. He's going to destroy many souls with them. Because our people are comfortable in their free welfare, free housing, free Section 8. They're comfortable on that. So that's how Esau going to destroy these souls.
Come on. We almost finished.
Verse 7. And there was a war in heaven.
There was war in heaven.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels.
So who's this dragon? Esau. Who is the dragon's angels? His armies, his military, his air force, his marines, his allies. Read that again.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels,
Go ahead.
and prevailed not.
Esau is not going to prevail against the angels. Go ahead.
Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
There was no place found for Esau to rule anymore. Their days is going to be finished.
So then heaven, when the Most High said in Isaiah, for my sword will be bathed in heaven, that's what that's talking about. The Most High going to kill a lot of them in their heaven, talking about their kingdom. When it says in heaven, meaning in their rulership, he's going to destroy their kingdom.
That's
what
what
it said.
Isaiah 34.
Isaiah 34.
My sword shall be
Right.
bathed in heaven.
in heaven. And it shall come down upon Idumea. It mentions the name.
Good music right here.
Let's read that real quick. Let's read that one real quick.
Put the bombs out here.
Isaiah 34, verse 5.
Is it when it started 5?
Start with 4.
Stop verse 4.
Start with 4. Now I want the bombs. I want the bombs. There ain't no bombs in there. Not 4. Come on. No, there ain't no bombs. Not bombs. Come on. I don't want to talk about
Isaiah 34, verse 4.
Come on.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved.
The heavens talking about the white man's heaven. Like in Peter, he said, and the heavens will be set on fire by the bombs.
And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
That's that mushroom cloud. Come on.
And all their hosts shall fall down.
That's the what you read in Revelation about his angels. Read that again.
And all their hosts shall fall down.
That's those angels that we were reading in Revelation. All of the branches of his military. Come on.
As the leaf falleth off from the vine.
That's how easy it's going to be for the Lord to destroy the whole mess. Like a leaf falling off of a vine.
Right. That includes their satellites. All that stuff Esau got up there. The fighter jets, it's going to fall down.
The stuff that you're looking at and going, ooh, wow.
Wow, maybe he is God.
The Most High going to slap all that garbage out of the heavens like it ain't nothing. Read.
And as a falling fig from the fig tree.
That's how easy it's going to be. Like the slightest wind will make figs fall off of a tree. Boom. You just tap the tree and figs is falling all over the place. That's how easy they're going to come down.
Come on.
For my sword shall be bathed in the heavens.
That's why Revelation said there was war in heaven. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. He ain't talking about his heaven where he's in, where he is. No, he's talking about Esau's heaven, the white man's heaven, his rulership. Come on.
Behold, it shall come down.
Behold, the sword of God shall do what?
It shall come down upon Idumea.
It shall come down upon the white man. And I gotta speak plain because a lot of people, Idumea, I don't know what that means.
We looked up Idumea earlier, right?
But I mean, people want to disassociate with the truth. This is uncomfortable to them.
Right.
So you gotta just say it, smack it, bang, it's the white man. They don't like that. Come on.
And upon the people of my curse.
We did Idumea.
Oh, yeah. Behold, it shall come. For my sword shall be.
Behold,
It shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
that's what the people don't understand. The people of the Lord's curse is Esau. And the curse that the Most High put on them is for the Edomites to be the vessel of God's destruction. No, y'all didn't understand that. The reason why this man got the weapons, got the power, is so that the Lord can channel his anger through them by destroying them in our presence, so that the whole earth will know where the true power is. That's what Romans tell you. Romans, even for the same reason have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee by destroying you. So that way everybody will know that I am God and there's no God beside me. That's the reason why he raised him up. Same thing he did with Pharaoh.
Let's go back.
And the scholars know it too. That's why in the Bible dictionary it says they're set for great future judgments. And this scripture is mentioned.
Exactly.
Isaiah 34:6 and 63 verse 1. It mentions. So the scholars know they're doomed also. The same scriptures.
Revelation 12. We're almost done.
12 and 7 again.
Yeah.
And there was war in heaven. Revelation 12 verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
No more.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan.
See what the Bible is calling Esau? What is he calling him, Leon?
He called him Satan and the devil.
And the devil. Some of y'all, oh, that's just a racist. It's not a racist statement. It's what God says. Read that verse again.
And this great serpent was cast
No,
out.
it say great serpent.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
Why is it saying that old serpent?
That's right. That's right.
Yahshua.
Referring to the serpent that begot Eve.
Right, from way back in Genesis, that same wicked spirit cast out, right?
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Who's deceiving the whole world, Tony? You said that because Azariah yelled that out? See, brother, stop yelling things out. I need to see who knows. Okay, how is he deceiving the whole world?
Boom.
Question mark.
He's deceiving the whole world by putting on different practices,
Putting on different practices. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. You about tap dancing?
holidays.
He's deceiving the whole world by. You said what?
Putting on different practices, covering up the places of judgment.
Different practices. You mean like Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta doing that dance? Talk plain, brother. Now listen to Azariah to help you. Go ahead, Azariah.
Deceiving through his politics, his religion.
Okay, he's deceiving the world through his politics,
Right.
through his religions.
Christianity, science,
Stop.
homosexuality,
Stop.
sexuality.
What's in the back of the classroom? Huh? What's the signs back there? Bring the prisoner forward. Bring him up. I know he's hot. I know he's trapping on. You know.
Somebody help Abiel, please.
I know he's in the dungeon. Pull him out of the dungeon. Take the chains off. Bring him up.
How you in?
Where's he? He's around.
He's hiding, brother. He's hiding.
Y'all let him get away. His brother's supposed to be on the door, man.
Pull him out from under that rock. Basilio, you should be able to pull that devil out from that.
On the computer.
Well, put it up there. We have to do it. Just for a second. You all right? Come on, let's get this thing started. Because they have to see this thing. Because the reason why I say that, because when that word deceiveth the whole world, everybody supposed to be on the same page right away. Supposed to understand exactly what it's talking about. You shouldn't have to fish around for this answer. Read it again, I thought, while he's getting it.
12.
9.
9. Excuse me. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan.
Slow down, because the reason why I had to do that, I went through a whole lot. Didn't want to deviate. Well, I'm not deviating. I just want to. Sometimes you have to bring illustrations and visuals. So now we brought the prisoner forward. Read it again.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Now the question is, we don't know what it's talking about, which deceiveth the whole world. We don't have a clue. We're fishing around trying to figure out what it means. Which deceiveth the whole world. Look at this criminal. Zoom in on the homosexual one in the bottom. One way you look like a homosexual in the bottom. These are good right here. To the right. Yeah, right there. Right there. Homosexual looking one. Which deceiveth the whole world. A lot of people watching this right now, probably at home, and before they check themselves, they're talking about Jesus. That's what a lot of people do. In the back of their mind, somewhere down in the deep recesses of their brain, the image of Caesar pop up as Jesus. Okay? That's what's happening. So when he said that deceiveth the whole world, that image pops up in their head. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why it's deception. I'm going to tell you why it's deceived. Where in the Bible did it ever say that Jesus looked like that? Where? In any language. In what Bible did it say that that this is Jesus? Huh? Yeah. That ain't the Bible. The Book of Mormon ain't the Bible. I said the Bible. What Bible said that this looked like this was Jesus? Huh? None of them. But I guarantee you, you ask, you show this picture to your little kids, to the little kids out here, you pass by these churches, you speak to people coming out of it, they will say that's Jesus. They went to watch The Passion of the Christ with Mel Gibson, crying all in the movie theater and all that. That ain't Jesus at all. Okay, so that's how he deceived the whole world, because he made the whole planet at one time believe that that's Jesus. And there is no Bible record ever produced that ever said that Christ looked like that. The reason why I went through these links is to show you the great deception. The deception was so great that everybody believes that this is Jesus, yet there's not one line in the Bible that says that Jesus looked like this. So that is some major deception. Y'all follow me? Okay.
Right here. Wisdom of Solomon, 14 verse 20. It says exactly what y'all just said. I'll read it. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 14 verse 20. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored as a man. And this was an occasion to deceive the world. For men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name. That's the part you want. 21.
You see that? That's super heavy. They've taken an ordinary criminal and made him into Christ. That's why in another part of Revelation they said they gave him the life of Jesus.
Right.
To the image.
I'm going to give another one. Look at this real quick. Revelation 13 and 8. Read that one for me.
Revelation 13 and 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. So if you're confused about who's the image of the beast, can we fix that so we can look at it and talk about it?
Who's on the thing, man?
I am. It's going crazy.
It's going crazy. You need to tell me this.
Seven.
I think for the spirits. Yeah, the trick in his back. Yeah, a trick in his right. Well, actually, that's the way it should be.
But the point is, in verse 8, it said, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. If you were ever confused, you jump through a process of elimination. Who is this whole earth worshiping?
That's the point.
That's the point. They sure as hell ain't worshiping Negroes and Latinos. They ain't worshiping Chinese or Arabs. They worshiping the so-called white image of Jesus. Yes, Joel.
It was kind of funny at camp. We had this Northern Kingdom lady come up to the camp and said and pointed to the Caesar sign to her daughter. She said, "Look, honey, look. We thought she was on Edified Daughter." She said, "Look, Jesus. This is Jesus."
You see that?
She said, "It's a white image. This is Jesus."
I hope y'all stepped on it.
Then the girl came up to me. She was like, "Who's this guy? You talking about this black guy?" I said, "That's the Christ of the Bible. That's the real black Christ." And she said, "You Negroes can have your black Christ.
Oh,
you can have our
yeah.
Jesus."
You see that?
Yes, it is now.
Y'all see that?
That's pathetic.
I hope they blasted the hell out of it. Go back to Revelation 12. We almost done.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Good.
Is it on tape?
That's what I gotta say.
I can the book. I can the book.
Right, that's Caesar Borgia right there. Pope Alexander VI of Rome.
Why they gotta put home?
Now that top guy, you see, that's Pope Alexander VI of Rome. That's the one Michelangelo painted as God. When in the Sistine Chapel, when he's touching that finger of Adam, he's the image right there. And his sister, where's Lucretia? Right, her face is cut right there.
No, it's right there. To your right.
To the right. Over to the right. Over to the right. More to the right. Right. Over to the right.
Okay, to your left then.
I mean,
next to Caesar. Next to Caesar. The woman next to Caesar.
What is wrong with Ephraim? Right there.
What's wrong with this?
Oh, okay. You fighting spirits? No! Yes, they use her image as Mary. That's the image that Michelangelo.
That's a woman, though.
Yeah, a woman. You know, Bezalel, we need the picture of Leonardo's The Last Supper.
Right.
Where they show you everybody at the table.
They all like him.
Right. Look it up on the internet. We're gonna finish this while you look for that first, all right? Let's get back. Yeah. Find a large picture under Google Images.
That's it. The third one. No, he just.
I want a quick one. Let me see.
The famous one. That ain't it.
That's too small.
Back it up. Go back to the menu. Go back to the menu. This,
Yeah. Let's try it.
the top. Open that one up.
That one's. Okay, yeah. Can we get it bigger than that?
See, I know what's happening.
The first one says,
This is bringing back memories to a lot of
the
people.
first one says view image.
View image. Yes. Now, look at the women in the picture. Go from left to right. Go from left.
She's on the right of Christ.
Okay, I'm going. Wait, see that woman? Yeah. Right there. See woman number one. Let's put the cursor on. Yeah. That's Lucretia. That's her right there. Go further in. There's the next woman right there. There's Lucretia right there again. Now going over. That's two.
That's her middle two.
That's it. That's Leonardo's picture. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So you see they got two women sitting up there.
Three.
Yeah, it's three back. Oh yeah, right there too.
Christ in the middle.
Right there, that's a woman. But they got women posed as one of the 12 apostles. Nobody notices that blasphemy. That not only are they Edomites, but they got three images of Lucretia Borgia.
One of them has a mustache.
Do y'all understand this is blasphemy?
This is blasphemy. Then you got, look over to the left again, go back to the left. See right, see the guy with the white beard, leaning, talking to Lucretia? That's the Pope. Lean over, up, to your right, to your right, to your right, to your right, to your right. Yeah, two of them, right? Him right there with the white beard. That's Pope Alexander VI of Rome. Okay? That's the same guy that touched the finger of Adam on the Sistine Chapel. The same one. Okay? Go over to the side. So you got all these images that Leonardo painted of Edomites. The Holy Roman family, as they call them, set up as Christ and the 12. And they got women up in there. Lucretia Bourget is up in there. And I bet you go up on some Ephraimite's house, got that picture up there. Maybe some of you Benjamites too. I don't know about that. Maybe some of you Levites too. I don't know about that. But I know an Ephraim's house. I see that one.
Remember what the sister told us?
It's in velvet.
Remember what the sister told us? She said, we said, that ain't Jesus. She said, it is Jesus. She said, we said, that ain't Jesus. So she said, that ain't Jesus. She said, that, sister. He said, I know it's Jesus. He said, no. We tell her it's not Jesus. He said, it is Jesus. He said, how do you know? She said, because I have a picture of him on my wall.
Right, exactly.
That's what she has.
So now, back to Revelation 12. We're almost done. We're only going down to 11. Come on.
Verse 9 again, or just verse 9?
9 again.
Verse 9. Revelations 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
See that? Which deceiveth the whole world. Go ahead.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels are cast out with him.
Because when you ask anybody in the world, who are the Jews, they sure as hell don't point to us. So they have deceived the whole world. You ask them what Jesus looks like, they sure as hell don't point at one of us. They have deceived the whole world. Come on.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
What are you going to say, Alice?
Where else is this written at? Joel.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 21.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad because you're right about that because it's in the same Bible. I'm giving it away. Where else is it written? Where else is it written? Josiah.
Isaiah 14.
No, that ain't what I'm looking for. Where else is it written? Liam.
Psalm chapter 2.
No. You mean to tell me nobody's going to get this thing? Zekiah. Where else is it written? Read 9 and 10 again. Maybe he lost the thought.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ.
When is that now going to take place? Now is come salvation and strength to our power. Let me lay it that way before the scripture come up. When is that now going to take place? Josiah.
After Esau's taken down.
Right. So where's the scripture? Now I got it. I'm on.
Second Ezra.
Right on. Let's read it.
Chapter 6, verse 9.
Let's read it. Let's see if there's correlating with what we just read here.
It says, when the dragon is cast down to the earth, the devil, then the kingdom is our Lord's.
We're going to scream joy because the accuser of our brethren is put to death. He's cast down. He's in chains and slavery where he belongs.
2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
That's letting you know what time period we're in. And this scripture right here, for he is the end of the world. He is the end of all the roots. That's what Daniel 7:9 is talking about. And I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Come on.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And Jacob is the beginning of the world that follows. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. That's when that now is going to take place. When we start ruling. Now we're going to jump up and scream. That's when Psalms 149 is going to come in. We're going to raise it. Sleep upon our beds, wake up. All that. It's going to be beautiful.
Hey, I wanted to add one more thing. That's another excellent example of the word world. Okay, it shows that there's two separate worlds. Esau's world and the world that the Israelites live in. That's another excellent that's a killer right there.
That for John 3:16.
That's a killer.
That's another one. Put in your magazine.
Okay, now we're on the last script, Revelation 12 and 11.
Revelations 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
Let's see if that's a correlation. If you can remember the class, read it again, I thought.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Stop. Somebody. Azariah, you like to yell out. Come on.
Overcame by the blood of the Lamb.
What that mean?
Revelation 2:26. I'll give you leadership.
No, I want the correlation with today's class. Phil.
For the new covenant is saying that we can repent to have our sins forgiven. In this case, somebody read that one more time for me, please.
Read it again.
They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They loved not their lives unto the death.
So we read that scripture last week about being able to lose your life or burdens, bear your cross or bear your burden, so you'd be willing to lose your life to believe in the faith of Christ to get the kingdom.
Right. What I want y'all to see out of all this, when we were in Egypt, remember when the angel of death came and we had to put what?
Blood.
We had to put the blood on the doorpost. That custom of Moses after that, we didn't have to keep putting it on our doorpost. Moses was doing what with the blood? Sprinkling it on us, throwing it on us. That's what we read today. Now it's telling us we overcame by the blood of the Lamb. Christ's sacrifice. That's the blood on us, on our souls. That's how we're going to overcome. That's why, give me 1 John 2:1 about the advocate with the Father. And this scripture is not to be used to justify wickedness.
1 John
2:1.
1 John 2 verse 1.
Negroes look for things to justify sin. So I got to stress that.
1 John 2 verse 1. My little children, these things write I unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous.
See that? So no longer is it the ox, or the ram, or the sheep, or the goat, or the turtle dove. It's the sacrifice of Christ. That's what's going to get us. That's what's going to make us overcome against this dragon. It's not our own personal good works, brothers. It's the blood of the Lamb. That sacrifice, us believing in this new covenant in Christ. That's going to get us to overcome. Everybody understand that?
Yes.